So we're back with another Wild Rift video. Today we're going to play Twisted Fate in the mid lane, and as you can see, I dropped a little bit in rank. If you've been following my last videos, I was on a pretty bad losing streak, and I dropped from like player 150 to like 600, which kind of sucks, but I'm on my way back up. So what you're going to see is like a top 600 player game now. As you can see, we also have some very good players like this Xin Zhao or this Zed right here, and today I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to carry with Twisted Fate. And even though his kit is pretty straightforward, like it's not that hard to like looking at his kit and the abilities he has, but the thing with Twisted Fate is he's pretty hard to master. And I know I'm going already seeing the angry comments down below in the comment section simply saying, yeah, all you have to do is like throw some cards and it's that easy. No, it's not. Like you have to time your ultimate pretty good, and you have to roam really efficiently with him to make him work. And I'm going to show you exactly inside of this video what you will need to do, because you will need some very good map vision, and it took me a while to get used to this champion. So his laning phase against most champions is pretty easy. He out hustles with his passive most of them. You can see I'm getting a pretty huge gold lead on Corki pretty early on, and all I'm trying to do right here with my wave is I'm trying to push him in, get the farm, and that's basically it. Waiting for my level 6, keeping my mana in stock. Like a mistake I made very early on playing Twisted Fate is not taking a look at my mana and not being mana efficient enough. So I started using the gold card way earlier, and I was trading this Corki right here with, like, I usually shouldn't do that because his auto hits are way stronger than mine in the early game, but I somehow managed because he decided to fight inside of the minions. So playing against the Corki is pretty easy. All he will do is push me in, all I will do is push him in, and maybe occasionally we will do some trades. Regarding the build, like a lot of people have been asking, like, okay, which kind of, like, you're never showing the builds in the early game. In my opinion, most of the time you're best off just picking, if it makes sense, obviously, like there's some trolls out there, but most of the time it makes sense just picking the player one build and then making some adjustments in the game as you go. For example, if you're playing a tank and you see the enemies are full 80, you definitely go full armor, for example. But most of the times, like those builds other people show you, they will not impact your game in a way um, it will win you the game. Like there's some builds that are absolutely broken, but you will definitely see them at the top one players. So what I'm doing right here with Twisted Fate to talk about like the laning phases, I push him in, I get more gold than him. If you've seen it just a few seconds ago on the scoreboard, um, I was already having way more gold than him simply because of the passive Twisted Fate. The first item I'm going for is Luden's Echo to be able to push way quicker and push way easier. And now I thought about, okay, maybe I can trade this Corki a little bit. He made the dumb mistake of hitting the minions. I get ganked by this Y, so maybe he was also um, just baiting me. But this was a pretty good hook by Pyke. Like, this Pyke player is definitely good. I don't see that many good Pyke players, but when I see them, they like when a Pyke player is good, they usually carry games. So again, I'm back to farming mode. This is like not the most intense gameplay, but this is how you play Twisted Fate in the early game. Because if you're playing against an ranged champion, there is not that much you can do. Also, if you're asking yourself, like, hey, am I commenting this while playing? No, I'm not. I'm commentating this afterwards because I would say I'm one of the best players in the game, but um, I can't do both at the same time. I can't commentate and play at the same time, so I will do both separately to give you the best out of both worlds. Speaking of the best out of both worlds, like, um, you probably noticed that there's no background music, which makes it a little bit boring to just listen to me. So what I would recommend you to do is you play some music in the background, or down in the comments right now, let me know if you have some suggestions what I can play in the background in the next videos. I will definitely make sure to have the game volume at least in there. So now I have my level 5, my ultimate power spike, and at the beginning I don't really do that much with it. All I'm doing right here is getting my Ludens stacked up and pushing the wave in so Corki loses a bunch of minutes. As you can see, I'm getting so much gold on here. This is insane how much gold you're getting with the Twisted Fate passive. So this is something you should definitely start using. I thought about getting another turret, the turret gold, but Corki was back there. I didn't see the buy, so it wasn't like the best thing I could do. But what I can see is on the bot lane they're fighting, I immediately ult back to them, grab my gold card, and we get the kill. So this is something you will need to watch out for. This is one of the things that makes Twisted Fate like harder to play for most players, is because most people don't look at the map, and one of the most important things I can give you for those videos is just take a look, or to become better play in general, take a look at the map. So this Corki was maybe lagging or something, I don't know, but this Pyke did another very, very good roam, and we got him right here. I got the gold through the Pyke ultimate. A lot of people get that wrong. When Pyke kills someone with his ultimate, you're getting the shared gold. So back to farming, getting my mana back up. I know the dragon is up, but my ultimate isn't. So I decided to go for the third gold right there, seeing my team how they're slaying the bot lane. Like Xin Zhao is doing a pretty decent job at this game. The same goes for the Pyke. And in general, what I do is just go back, grab some items, and then prepare for the dragon fight. This is what's going to happen inside of this. Inside of the next few minutes, my ultimate is also almost back up. The dragon is free because Vi is at the top lane together with Sion. And I'm paying that my ultimate is on cooldown, so I unfortunately can't help him. He's getting dived pretty badly. And I kind of feel sorry, but we're losing that tower, and the dragon should be free if we went there. I don't know why I didn't go there immediately, but I wanted to scare away the Corki. Push the wave, and so he loses some minions. This is one of the cheesy things you can do, is you can like simply, when your team goes for the dragon, you push in the lane. So the enemy laner has to decide if he wants to go for the farm or if he wants to help with the dragon, but he's going to lose one of them. If you're trading with Twisted Fate, as you can see, I'm doing those short trades. I was in there a little bit too long, but what I do is I go in there, stun the enemy, and give him a Q, maybe my third hit, and I immediately again ult when I see my teammate needs, or my team needs it. This is again one of the most important things. Just watch the map like a hawk. Watch the map like a maniac. And I don't know what the Sion is doing right there. He's doing a pretty stupid tower dive, but because he has the Yuumi on him, I was predicting he's doing a Q through the bush, so I was keeping my distance there. And that's basically all I did. So I decided to go for another wave so I can get my Rabadons finished. This is also one of the big power spikes you can get with Twisted Fate. But so right now, looking at the score, I'm the support. Like, I didn't get any kills, unfortunately, but my team right now is in a pretty solid spot because I didn't get any. So back to base. There's not much I can do. There's the Pyke to def the turret, and I need to go to the mid lane to def the turret there. And as you can see, my top lane is also taking turret, doing a pretty good job. I was too slow to def the mid lane turret, so we lost that as well. So I'm trying to counter it by simply pushing in the mid lane wave. My ultimate is also back up in 5 seconds. I can see that the bot lane is fighting, so I will just walk over there and go and help them. So I draw the ultimate, and I wasn't necessarily needed there. I'm just there to sneak a kill and help the Tristana not to die. So now back to the mission, which is getting the mid lane turret, which will also give my team a pretty nice chunk of gold. One of the most satisfying things you can see in the game right there is when you are simply throwing a Q while your Ludens load up inside of the minions while they're just walking through the lane, because most of them, if you have enough items, they will just die right away, and you get an easy push on the enemies. So as of right now, this is not the most intense gameplay here from Twisted Fate. All I'm doing is, one of the things I always preach inside of my videos is make sure to not do stupid stuff. This right here, this is stupid stuff because we've seen clearly that there are 4 enemies. All I do is try to help the Xin Zhao in any way, but unfortunately I couldn't, so I have to fight off the Vi because I was staying there for too long. And all I do is trying to get some mana back, but this fight right here is pretty much lost because this Xin got caught. It's surprising how long he survived, but the third hit is just pretty strong and he was ahead of the enemies. So I'm going back. I can buy my Zhonya so I can counter the Vi and the Sion ult. Waiting for my health to refresh back up. and walking back to the back to the lane, trying to finally get that mid lane turret. Also, the Rift Herald is up. I can't remember honestly if we got that Rift Herald. Corki has a package which would usually be something pretty dangerous, but as of right now, also look at the damage I was just doing with one stun card. So I wasn't sure if we were getting that Drake, that Rift Herald right here, which we do. So all I do is during the fight, like one of the things you can do as a Twisted Fate in team fights is simply stun the enemy that's either out of position. For example, if an ADC is pretty badly out of position, or what you can also do is simply peeling for your carries. For example, the Tristana, she's pretty, like if Tristana had a bunch of more kills, all I would do is stand next to her and shield her off basically, because I know Pyke is better killing the backline of them than I am, and that's what I do. So one of the things also, right positioning and right prioritizing in team fights is one of the most important things you can do right there. So we finally got the mid lane turret, we got the Herald, we're in a pretty good spot right now. But it's also 15-7, the overall score. And I wish I would open the scorecard a little bit more, so it would be more interesting during the commentary for you. So I'm wasting a card right there. I'm back to farming the mid lane. But the thing is, I get so much gold from just farming. It's not even funny. I picked the wrong card right there, which happens from time to time. But again, it took me a while to get used to Twisted Fate, because he's such a unique champion in my opinion, because it's easy picking up. You might think he's easy to play overall, which his kit is, but if you use it ultimate right, like he is a true carry. Regarding the items, I just finished my Rabdons. I'm going for Luden's for the how's the item called? The Lichbane next, and then I'm going for the Rapid Fire Cannon. This is one of the items. I thought at the beginning it was Troll on Twisted Fate. As you can see, before I talk about the Rapid Fire Cannon, what I do is I stay next to Tristana and make sure I only throw stun cards to protect her. She was jumping away from me, and talking about the Rapid Fire Cannon, you have the longest stun in the game probably, having the Rapid Fire Cannon ready. And you can also catch enemies very easily off guard, because at the beginning, when you just first get that item, the first like 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 stuns you throw, people will be pretty surprised if you stun them from like a couple miles away, so to speak. The Pyke also, like, he does some very good pulling right there, or not right there, but in general. And again, as you can see, the stun I did on them, it immediately killed the enemy. So stuns right there, I'm following the Corgi, I'm waiting what he's doing, so I jump on this little pad right here to make sure he doesn't use it, and the Pyke right here is just finishing with his ultimate. So overall, this is some pretty solid Twisted Fate gameplay without tooting my own horn right there. I'm just telling you, like, with Twisted Fate, I play it pretty safe. I make sure my team is getting gold, and I'm out hustling the enemy mid laner. What the Corki could have done better if you're playing against Twisted Fate is being more aggressive. Like, when I have my W and my Q, which is my first and my second ability, if I have it out, I'm not the most useful. I'm not very, very useful. I'm seeing the Sion ult, I didn't know where he was going, so I hide it behind this thing, behind this wall right here, making sure that he doesn't catch me off guard, because it was pushing the turret right there pretty stupidly. Also, one thing I've seen, like, I was playing together or against, I can't really remember, or I was playing with and together this person with Vex. If this name says something to you, he's one of the best players I've seen the first time, like in the first season, and I was playing together with him in a gold match, and he just straight out carried the game, and people were saying like, hey, this is Vex, he's one of the best players. And I didn't know him back then, and at some point, like, I was seeing over and over again, and like pretty high elo Q, and it was insane. Like, there's such a skill difference between players that how can I put it into nice words? There's such a big skill difference between players in a high grandmaster and then high challenger. It's insane. So I got stomped by people that were in high challenger simply because, like, their macro game, it was, and their micro game, it was insane. Okay, and I see it all the time, legendary queue, when the queuing is kind of weird. And you get like a bunch of diamond players in your game, and the enemy gets like some player like this, he can just 1 versus 9. Okay, so if you are very, very good. Like you simply see the skill difference in there. Also, this game is going to have a very, very abrupt ending. I don't know why I just left the game. So you would see if we win or lose, but something made me quit way too early. I don't know why, so this video also will have a very abrupt ending. This Lucian does a good job at staying at me right here. This is exactly what I said on how to counter Twisted Fate. Simply by, after I got my 2 abilities out, I was pretty much useless. As you've seen, like I'm 4-0 and 7. I have a huge gold lead, but after my first 2 abilities, it was pretty hard to stay up with them. So again, I'm back at my job of pushing the middle lane, which I did like a ton this game. And we're right here taking the Baron. So I'm ulting right here to see where the enemies are. I'm keeping away the Corki, but I know I have cooldown, so I just back away immediately. And I only did activate the ultimate to make sure that there are no enemies coming to steal the Baron, because this would have been a huge throw. I had another game with Renekton that ended up being a huge throw. So I think the enemies are surrendering any moment. So if you enjoyed this video right here, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel if you want more high elo gameplay and more educational videos, and I see you inside of the next video. So I'm also going to commentate, so this is kind of weird right now, but I'm going to finish it. Finish the commentary. Okay, here it's finished. I will also leave you a bunch of gameplays I think you will find valuable, and I'm seeing you inside of the next video.